Instagram just changed how hashtags work in 2025, the 4 best hashtag strategies you need to be using, and they updated the list of banned hashtags that they look at, and if you're using hashtags that are on that list, it's going to destroy your reach right now. But don't worry, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what you need to be doing with hashtags on Instagram to skyrocket your reach the same way I just helped this creator get over 200,000 followers and this creator over 400,000 followers. And all you have to do is adapt to these changes and boom, same exact thing could happen to you. Hashtag strategy number 1 is going to be 2 to 3 hashtags. Now remember, when you use a strategy like 2 to 3 hashtags, you need to make sure that the ones that you use are the largest and the most relevant for whatever you're posting about. Because what Instagram is going to do is they're going to look at how many people are following that hashtag and how many people engage with content under that hashtag. And this is going to help them determine how much reach they're going to actually give your post. So if you're using small hashtags or you're using irrelevant hashtags, Instagram might think that there's not a big audience for the content that you just created, or they might show your content to the wrong people because the hashtag was irrelevant. And now guess what happened? Your content just got shown to the wrong people simply because you chose the wrong hashtag. For example, if you were in the affiliate marketing niche and you typed in something like affiliate marketing and saw a bunch of hashtags pop up, you would want to use this hashtag right here over this hashtag right here because this one is so much bigger. And then as a result, Instagram is going to actually show your content to more people. Hashtag strategy number 2 is going to be using 12 hashtags, but I will warn you, I would strongly suggest that you do not use more than 12 hashtags right now on Instagram. That should be the maximum number of hashtags that you're using. In addition to that, you need to make sure you're not doing 3 massive things wrong when it comes to the hashtags that you're choosing. First and foremost, you need to make sure you are only putting hashtags at the end of your description. They shouldn't come in the beginning, and you definitely shouldn't be putting them in your comments. All of that is going to decrease your reach. Instead, just have it at the end of your description. Secondly, you need to make sure you're not using the same hashtags over and over again. So ideally, you should have a list of 20 to 30 hashtags that you're going to be using that are going to be relevant to whatever you're posting about. And third, you need to make sure that you are not using banned hashtags. I'm going to share with you in just a second exactly how you can figure out whether or not the hashtags you're using are banned. But first, I want to share with you something else. Because if you're only focused on what hashtags you're using, you might be missing out on the best time to post on Instagram, and you might not be writing the right things in your description, which is also going to force Instagram to show your content to the wrong people, and then boom, you're not gonna get the reach, the followers that you want, or you won't be able to monetize your account. Now, lucky for you, there's actually a tool called Metricool that can do a lot of this for you. It'll tell you the best time to post for your specific account. It'll show you the best hashtags to use when you go to post about something, and they have an AI description generator that makes it incredibly easy for you to be able to customize and write descriptions that Instagram actually wants to push out. Here's how it actually works. You can use their planner feature to get this calendar right here that highlights the best time for you to post for your specific account. And then you can use their AI description generator to generate descriptions for you, and you can customize them. And then from there, you could do a search for the best hashtags to use for whatever you're posting about. And this is going to put them all very neatly right here so that you just click on them and it adds them to the post. And if you want to grow faster on Instagram right now and spend less time creating content, you need to be using this tool too, which is exactly why I strongly suggest you go to the pinned comment below and register for 30 days free access to any of their premium plans with code Robert. Now, hashtag number 3, before we get into the last and most important hashtag strategy that makes the most small accounts on Instagram go viral, is going to be 6 to 8 hashtags. Now remember, hashtags aren't the only thing that you need to be thinking about when you're posting on Instagram. In fact, there were 3 other algorithm changes that just happened that I need to make sure that you're aware of, because if you're not adapting to these 3 things, it's going to destroy your reach. First and foremost, trial reels. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you are not using the trial reels feature on Instagram, you are going to get left behind. There are specifically 2 things you need to be doing with it. First, you need to use this feature in order to A/B test things. Let's say that you were going to post about something today, but you don't know what hook to use. You could do 2 trial reels and have one hook be one of the things that you had, and have the other hook be the other idea that you had, and it will actually tell you which one of them works better. You could use this for hooks, you could use this for links, you could use this for sounds, you could use this for descriptions, you could use this for topics, you could use this to literally test anything about your post. On top of that though, you can also take all of your high performing reels, repost them as trial reels, and this is going to force Instagram to only show your content to non-followers, which should skyrocket the reach that you get. because this is by far the biggest hack on Instagram right now in order to get more followers. And I cannot emphasize this enough. If you're not using this hack, you are going to get left behind on Instagram. Now, that second thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is you need to make sure that you are remixing memes. I cannot emphasize this enough. People on Instagram don't want to watch a 3-minute video. They don't want to watch a 2-minute video. They don't want to watch a 90-second video. They want to get that information across in 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 9 seconds, or sometimes even shorter. And the easiest way to do that is with a meme, because it's funny, it's relatable, and it is the most shared type of content on Instagram. And if you want to get more views right now, you need more shares on your content. If you want to get more followers right now, you need more shares on your content. And if you want to be able to make more money from Instagram right now, you need people sharing your content, because when people share your content, the Instagram algorithm pushes it out like crazy, and your audience pushes it like crazy to other people that are going to be interested in it. And then that third algorithm change is that Instagram updated the banned hashtags list. Now, there are essentially 2 ways that you could figure out whether the hashtags you're using are banned. First, you could try to find a list online and then search that list every time that you come up with a hashtag idea. Or what you could use is use the tool Metricool that I shared with you earlier, because the hashtags that you get from them aren't going to be banned. They're not going to decrease your reach. In fact, they're going to help you increase your reach. And again, it's literally going to tell you the best time to post, the best hashtags to use, exactly what to write in your description, so you never have to think about those things ever again, and you can just rely on Metricool for that to increase your views. Also, another massive mistake when it comes to hashtags on Instagram that you want to make sure you are not making is that you need to make sure that you are updating and refreshing the hashtags that you're using and tracking the performance of those hashtags. If you go into your analytics, you'll be able to see how many views are actually coming from hashtags and if your views are even coming from hashtags. On top of that though, you need to make sure that you're refreshing your list. And if you're not able to refresh your list on a monthly basis when it comes to the hashtags that you're using, that's a sign either one of 2 things is happening. Either one, your niche might be shrinking, which is why your views could be going lower, or you might not be getting as many followers as you'd want, or 2, you're not expanding the topics that you're talking about enough, which is actually holding you back from growing on Instagram, and you might not be talking about the things that are currently trending within your niche, which is killing your reach. Because you need to understand something. What your target audience is interested in is going to change on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or even on a monthly basis. So if you keep talking about the same topics, or you're talking about topics that they're not that interested in, this is going to hold you back from getting reach right now on Instagram, because the Instagram algorithm is completely interest-based. They give views based on what people are interested in. For example, it is January 22nd that I'm recording this right now. If I talk about Christmas or Thanksgiving or something that happened in the past, I'm not gonna get views. But if I talk about what is happening right now, for example, the Super Bowl coming up, well, guess what? Then I'm going to get a lot more reach. But the second after the Super Bowl is over, you're gonna have to start talking about something else if that's your niche. And you need to think about this and see exactly what topics are trending within your niche. Look at the hashtags being used under those, and this is gonna give you a huge advantage when it comes to creating content. Now, on top of that, you also need to make sure that your account is set up correctly. If you mess up any of the 3 things that I'm about to share with you, it's the reason that you're not getting reach right now on Instagram. The first thing you need to make sure of is that if you click on this on your Instagram page, all of the pages that show up down here are in the same niche as you. If that doesn't happen, that means that Instagram is not classifying your account correctly, and it's why you're not getting reach. Now, in order to do this, you need to make sure that you come into your profile, come into edit profile, and by the way, you can only do this from a computer. You need to scroll down and you need to make sure that this right here is clicked. If this isn't clicked and it looks like this, then Instagram isn't going to show your content to other people that interact with your competitors. Secondly, you need to make sure that the keywords that you want Instagram to recognize your page for show up in your description, in your highlights, and then also you can put them in your name. If you have them in those 3 placements, it is going to be abundantly clear to Instagram exactly who to show your content to. It's going to increase your views, and it is going to increase the odds that Instagram is actually able to find the right audience for your content. And then finally, you need to make sure that your image right here stands out. Nick has this bright blue in the background so that it stands out. You need to do the same exact thing in yours. It doesn't have to be bright blue, but it needs to be a bright color so that it captures people's attention and they don't forget it. Now, the last hashtag strategy that makes the most small accounts on Instagram go viral is going to be 4 to 5 hashtags. Every single one of those hashtags needs to be large. Every single one of them needs to be relevant, and every single one of them needs to be something that a lot of people in your niche are interacting with, following, or viewing content under. If you could get that right, it's going to increase the odds that you go viral on Instagram. Now, the only reason you're not getting the growth that you want or the views that you want on Instagram right now is simply because, one, you haven't implemented the changes I shared with you in this video, or two, you're stuck and not actually sure about what to do. And if that's you, I personally want to help you. In fact, I want to work with you one-on-one to guarantee I can help you grow quicker on Instagram, so 2025 is finally the year that you get monetized on Instagram. That sounds interesting? Well, please watch this video right here that explains the 3 different ways we can work together so I can help you skyrocket your growth. I'll see you over there.